When we're talking about security, we understand also in Eldoret, the aspirant Dr. Swaroop Mishra suffered neck and stomach injuries and was admitted to Medihill Hospital. He was on an oxygen mask when the nation also visited the hospital to just get a glimpse of what is happening there. And this just highlights what is happening, especially with the aspirants. And one of them also is Isaac Mwaura, that we understand was shot last week. He was on phone right now to just bring us to speed to tell us how he's faring on. A very good morning to you, Isaac Mwaura, if you're on the line this morning. First of all, yes, we were meant to have you in studio today, but I understand also you're working late into the night, of course, with these party primaries as well. Will you mind us, or would you mind just bringing us to speed on what is happening to you, how you're faring on, first of all, and how are you seeing the Jubilee primaries today?
Yeah, thank you very much, Debal. I'm very okay. I'm still recovering from the attack.
Yes.
And we have been going on with the preparations. We've had to do 2 elections.
Yes.
Within a very short time. And that is why, of course, we are burning the midnight oil to ensure that we reorganize ourselves, because most candidates, of course, had planned to finish this whole, exercise on Friday. And so, therefore, it's a very, tough moment for many candidates who have to do a repeat of the exercise as we speak. So, yes, of course, it's been challenging. We are very encouraged by the fact that many people are still willing to come out, and I would still want to encourage the many people who showed up on Friday to very early. The polling stations are going to open at 7 to 5 o'clock. And so I really want to ask my supporters, because even by conservative estimates, I was really winning this election, to really come out in big numbers, and so that not to get discouraged. Obviously, with the merging of the many political parties within the Jubilee strongholds, then this was the main election, because then if you get the Jubilee ticket ostensibly, then you are as good as a member of parliament, just like it would happen in other strongholds of other major political parties. And so therefore, we really want to ask, the Jubilee members and supporters not, to waver at all. I mean, this was a logistical challenge, and that is faced by many political parties. It's not something that is only, a precept of the Jubilee party. And so guys should really come out and vote and ensure that really we have a good opportunity to move our constituency, rural constituency, forward, and of course even those other counties that are within the Jubilee ambit.
Right. Allow me to also hark back to in terms of security. First of all, what really happened to you? Because many of the viewers will want to know what happened to you. And do you think in any way this was politically instigated?
It was, of course, politically instigated, because what had happened is that I put up some structure for the border people upon their request. And when, after doing that, some opponent went and demolished the same structure and started putting up, his own, really. And so when I went there, it was calculated, then there was that attack. And it was not the first time. I mean, there was a time I had a meeting, the same individual came with his vehicles and blocked the venue. He had to be chased away by the people after, his supporters had even pelted stones in my car. There was also another time I had a meeting. So it's because, obviously, this individual has been on the ground for 10 years, and he thought that the incumbent, of course, he would defeat her, only for this one Isaac Mwaura to come and spring and rush to the finishing line this very quickly. So obviously he was jilted, and then of course he was losing the election, and that is why he had to do what he had to do. But for me as a Christian, I have forgiven him. I move forward because I know the people really are with me, and we're going forward. I'm still nursing the injury. I had to be reconstructed my whole year. I had to spend a whole night at the theater at the Nairobi hospital. And if you see me, I have a very huge ear now because it's still swollen with a big bandage. But it's fine. It's okay. It's part of life. And I graciously move forward with the hope and belief that we can move this country forward if given the mandate to be the representative of the people of rural constituency.
Thank you very much. And of course, we also wish you a quick recovery. You're not feeling poorly anymore as it were before. And of course, you being on the mend right now, we wish you a quick recovery as well. But before I'll let you go, in terms of the the sense of loss that maybe you have experienced with this, because this also was a question that I put to Esther Passaris as well. You had your agents also who were spread across counties or your county to make sure that, yes, they are overlooking the entire exercise. How much of a loss have you experienced so far?
Well, the ball is extremely expensive. I can tell any Kenyan that Kenyan elections are very expensive because the whole area around election campaign financing is everyone for himself, God for us all. And with these huge losses that people have incurred, for example, you have to pay the agents, you have to, have your mobilizers, you have to do security because it's important in the elections, especially when sometimes the police are not as impartial. When you have also to ensure that you have, all those things like transportation of people who would otherwise have mobility difficulties, like people with disabilities. The other logistics, your clerks, all the people work in the secretariat, and it's huge. It's a lot of money, I can tell you. And then, of course, there's that other aspect of campaigning. Any extra day that is extended means you have to spend more. And it has been extreme. You spend in terms of millions of shillings. And so, therefore, the losses are huge for any serious candidate. For fringe candidates, I think this election only helps them to realize that they may not have been well prepared. But for those of us who are front runners, for those of us who are the main protagonists, it's really, really something that I tell you for sure is very costly. And I think in future, we may also want to regulate the amount of money used in elections, because clearly, if you are a poor man, you cannot participate in such elections, and especially when the party is not able to hold proper elections because of logistical nightmares that are unexpected. Yes, I think it's something that we need to look forward, and also the bar give a huger kitty to political parties to conduct the primaries, because then if the political parties are able to do them more properly, then it reduces, by extension, the cost of our own mobilization, of our own structures, so that then you can have a credible process that is once and for all.
Thank you. Thank you. Many thanks indeed, Isaac Mwaura, Ruiru aspirant. We thank you running on a Jubilee ticket.